Hi, this is Stephen Key. Welcome back to InventRight TV. And during this video, we're going to talk about the one thing you need, and that's confidence. Watch this video so you can learn how to gain more confidence to pitch your ideas. All right, everybody, Stephen Key, Dana Knowles. We're back for another InventRight TV video. Dana, we're going to talk about pitching ideas because I think it's so important. It's what everybody wants to do. It's the most important thing you can do. And this is the second video on this topic. So what are the three other things that people are going to need when they're pitching ideas?
Number one is a list of good companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean good? What do you mean a good companies?
Well, I learned this early on when I came into InventRight early on, and I kind of tried to skip ahead a little bit, and I was making my list of companies, and I always share I had every company in the shower caddy industry, every company, every single company, and there was like, we're talking hundreds of companies. And what I soon found out was that probably 2/3 of those weren't a good fit for my product. So right. there's a recipe that I use for finding companies. We do it all the time for our clients now. I have the product. I have it in front of me. I understand the benefit. I understand what it's made out of. And then I will start to research companies that ChatGPT is great. Hey, give me a list of 20, give me the top 20 companies in the, whatever industry, the shower caddy industry. And ChatGPT, and then you have to go to every website. This is where there's a lot of research. There's a lot. You go to every website and you look at you read their about section. What did they do? And sometimes we find companies that are just distributors, and this is a great little tip. I don't disregard researching those distributors because they sell brands. And so if I find a company that's on just a distributor's website, I'm going to I'm gonna dig into that, and that's pretty much how it's done. Of course, trade shows are a great way. Trade show websites, you can go to the events and go to the exhibitor list if you can get it for free. A lot of times you can go to old trade shows that are 2-3 years old. So what? You might find some great companies there.
Yeah, I think what I've realized just recently, someone had this list of companies that they wanted. They thought it was a perfect fit. I looked at it and was like, no, that's not a good fit at all. Yeah. But in their mind, it was, because they were thinking that, well, maybe they should do it, or maybe they could do it, or maybe there's an opportunity they should do. But it was a different category completely. It was like, no, that's not a good fit.
Yeah, I've done it.
And so what happened? I know. And so what happens, everybody, if you're listening to this, if you send it to a company which isn't a good fit, you get on the list of like, you're an amateur, I don't want to deal with you again. That's the list you get on, right? And they know who you are. So you have to really do some homework. Okay, the second thing I want to talk about here, I've got some notes here and I can't even read my notes. What's the second thing they need, Dana?
I truly believe that LinkedIn is one of the best tools ever. When I joined InventRight in 2017, I had a LinkedIn account, 5 connections, never used it, and I was a little scared of it. It's new to me. It's a new business social media, because a lot of people aren't into social media, but LinkedIn's a completely different. They are very, very strict about their rules and what they allow and what they don't allow. Not that people won't sneak through or whatever, but it's not Facebook, it's not TikTok, it's not those kind of things, Instagram. Yeah. But when I had to make a decision how serious I was about this inventing. Okay. And I know that we always say you don't need a paid subscription, and I'm not here to plug LinkedIn, but I wanted to invest in my future as a product developer, which means that I was willing to pay a couple bucks a month to be able to have those premium assets of, the premium, qualities of LinkedIn. And I think the biggest thing was that I kept on going. We always say, connect with all the other InventRight members, You can find 500 inventRight members on LinkedIn, that's for sure, and get that up. And then I just think that I always say, I bet you 99% of companies that I want to reach out to have a presence on LinkedIn. Yeah. And within that, 99% of those employees, or let's just lowball, 80% of those employees are on LinkedIn that I want to connect with. I think that it is the best tool ever to have a LinkedIn account, make it look professional, very professional. I can tell you a funny story. There was somebody on there that connected with me, and he was another inventor. I don't think he was a member, and I sent him a message back, and I said, "Is that your arrest picture or something?" Because he looked like he should have been standing there with a number. I'm like, take that down. That looks like that's his
mugshot. That was his mugshot. Dana, LinkedIn is so important to everybody. If you're not on LinkedIn, you need to get on LinkedIn, and you need to invest some time on LinkedIn. Dana's right. You can't just say, "Hey, one day I'm going to start," because it does take time to build connections, to be part of it. And we've done videos on that. You have to be serious about it, because it's a way for the industry to know who you are. So when you do reach out to them, it's not a cold call. It's kind of a warm call, because they've seen you. And they can check you out.
I can guarantee they are going to check you out, because when you have a premium paid account, you can see everybody who looks at your profile. And I can say, when I reach out to a company and I'm trying to connect with 20 or 30 people over there, a couple of days later, I can see all those people who looked at my profile. So my profile better be professional. The bio needs to be professional. And this is the greatest. People say, "Well, I don't know what to write." This is where we get bragging rights. We get to brag a little bit about our accomplishments, no matter how big or how small. We've all accomplished things in our life.
Well, it's a living resume.
Yeah.
And they're going to check you out. And you guys, you have to have a LinkedIn, and make sure you do it right. Okay. The third thing you need is confidence.
That's a tall order.
Dana, how important? Yeah, I want to talk about this confidence for just a minute, because I know the team at Gateway, and you lead the team. And you guys are so good at this, of reaching out to companies and making those connections, because you're all very confident. Not everybody's confident. So what do you do if you don't have that confidence? So what do you do? What do you tell someone? How can they learn that, Dana?
I wasn't confident. The person that you know now, today, was not the person that started 7 years ago.
Okay.
I truly believe that we have to act our way into right thinking. We can't think our way into right acting. Meaning, if I want confidence, I have to do the things that are going to get me there to have the confidence. I can't think about it all the time. I have to actually do it through the fear, because it's just people. You know what? If I don't have confidence in doing something, more than likely I'm just scared. I'm just scared. And, what's the worst that can happen? They come back and they say, your product sucks, which never happens. It never happens. I've never had any company come back and say, "This is stupid." Because, there's a place for every,
but you don't know.
Place for every product.
I know, but you've never done it before. Dana, let's talk about LinkedIn. It's a great way, but the best way that you're finding today is basically picking up the phone. Yeah. And that's to me, that's like public speaking for some people. That fear that I'm going to call someone I don't know, and what am I going to say, and how do I pitch? Do I answer the right questions? How do you overcome it? Because you're doing something new that I want to talk a little bit about today, because I know I talked to Andrew about it. You're doing something that's remarkable. Tell us a little bit about this new thing you're doing at InventRight.
Oh, this is so great.
InventRight co-founder Andrew Krause here. This break will only take a second. Consider joining our Become a Professional Inventor program. It is only $349 a month. We'll make sure everything is done right on your project. You have great marketing materials. You're getting in the top companies. Not only that, we'll guarantee that you can get into companies. And our negotiation coach will provide unlimited negotiation support during your membership with us. So if you'd like to close that lucrative licensing deal at only $349 a month, please book a call with us. Go to inventRight.com and book a call. Now back to the show.
This is so great. So we realized that our InventRight members I say this a lot, that, it's so much fun making the prototype. It's really, inventors like to, do with their hands and do their stuff. And it's fun to work with the coach and to work with the design studio. You get this, and you see your sell sheet coming to life. And maybe, we walk you through how to make a little demo video with your phone, how you use your prototype.
Right.
And then you get to start researching companies, and you learn all about that. You have this big list, and you're filling up the notebook, and you're going to LinkedIn, and you're researching, and you got name after name after name after name. And so now you have all those ducks in a row. And now it's time to put the pedal to the metal and really do the deal. And you said, I haven't heard you say this for a long time, you're not even in the game until you start reaching out to companies. And I loved that saying, because I wanted to be in the game. I wanted to be there. So this is the part, and I'm going to get to the program that we just started. We just kicked it off for our members. But that's the part right there where most of our members, and I think even inventors in general, stop because they don't know what to do. Fear of looking stupid, fear of not doing something right, they're all alone on their own. They don't have anybody to ask any questions to while they're going through the process. So we started to see this. This is a pattern. And there'll be members, and they'll continue to be a member, and they'll even, after the membership, you can do an alumni, and but they're not doing the action, the most important action part.
No, but part of it is, I've never done it before, but this is my baby. What if I make a mistake?
Well, yeah. We're all gonna make mistakes. You know what? Just that's a reality. I did it. You know what? I'm gonna confess. I did it the other day. I sent the wrong sales sheet to the wrong company.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I did. As soon as I hit send, I went, no! Luckily, the guy was really cool. He's like, yeah, that's okay. I said, hey, I immediately wrote, I said, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I sent the wrong sales sheet. Here's the one I meant to send. He's like, oh, no problem. Because you know what? Nobody's perfect. I hung up on a guy I was talking to when I was pitching my idea. I hung up on him. And he called me right back. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, hey, no problem. Don't worry about it. And I think doing all that, reaching out and realizing they're just human beings on the other end. They're not gods over there. They're just regular people.
How do you get people to overcome it? Because you've got this thing that you just did that I received a couple of emails recently.
I told them, I said, if you like this, make sure you tell Steven.
Oh my God. They wrote they poured their heart out. It must have been something that it transformed them, because I could tell the way they wrote it was very heartfelt, but I could tell they were different.
Yep.
Something clicked. Something clicked, that they were different people than they were before they had done this. So talk about what you did.
Well, we're always thinking of ways to help our members, and if that's one of the biggest struggling points, which I believe it is, and I think you do too, and the coaches do.
I do.
How can we help them? So I was a member, or am a member, of another coaching program. And what they did for us, because we were to fill out applications for a TEDx talk. But, we're busy people, and it's kind of hard to get motivated when we're all over here all by ourselves. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later tonight. I'll do it on the weekend. And then, weeks go by. I'll clean the toilet. I'll clean the fridge. I'll do the dishes. I'll do anything, but not what I don't want to do, right? If I wanted to do it, I would do it. Right. It's not that it's not a priority on our list. It's just uncomfortable because we've never done it before. So in this program that I'm in, they do it, I think, every week. And you sign up for a 2-hour session. And your job for 2 hours is to send out TEDx applications. That's all we do. For 2 hours. And there's a coach on there. You can chat, ask questions to. They do have some breakout rooms and stuff like that. But what I found that did for me is it helped me to focus, because I had these 2 hours. They were blocked off. I was going to work on what I needed to work on, and it helped me focus. And as an inventor, I think a lot of inventors struggle with that attention, shiny squirrel. I talk to people all the time, and we all have that common denominator of the brain goes way too fast. And So I said, well, why can't we do that with our inventRight members for calling and pitching? Why can't we do that? So yesterday, and it's not for, we're just fine tuning it. So it's for the members who are at that point where they're ready to start reaching out. A brand new inventRight member that comes in, they're not there yet, so they don't need to be a part of that. They will eventually, for sure, hopefully, sooner rather than later. So we talked to the coaches and we said, hey, your students that you're working with, members you're working with, all the members that are at that point where they need to start to reach out, but they really haven't like pulled the plug or something's keeping them back. Okay. We're going to send them over an email and we're going to invite them to this Zoom session. And they have to RSVP and they have to let us know they're coming. And we told them, this is what you're going to do. You're going to come in with your list of companies. You're going to come in with the people you want to reach out to. You're going to come in with a pad of paper and a pencil or a pen, and you're going to have your sell sheet ready. Because those are the four, you talk about what you need. You need those four things. You need your sell sheet, you need a list of companies, the people, and you need something to write with all the time. So, and what's interesting about this is we started at 2 p.m. yesterday, Eastern time. But at 10 minutes after the hour, the room is locked. Nobody gets in. You can get out, but you can't get in. It's like Hotel California, you know? You know that song, Hotel California. Anyway. So I'm showing my age here. So everybody showed up on time. A couple people couldn't make it. Something came up. They let us know. That's fine. And we kind of broke down how this was all going to work with everybody. So probably half an hour into it, after everybody kind of shared what their goal was for that session, we said, okay, everybody's going to be muted. Now you got to be on camera too. If you're not on camera, we're going to throw you out.
Oh, you can see people dialing. You can see people not dialing, but
everybody's on camera.
On the phone.
We tell you, if you're not on camera, we're going to throw you out, or we're going to ask you to put your camera on, or maybe not invite you back. This is the thing. We are holding people accountable, not only to them, but now they're seeing other people do it. And I'm seeing people on the phone, and I'm seeing people write down, and I'm seeing them in front of their computer. And so we did it for it was a 2-hour session, but, and some people tried to jump in at like 40 minutes in. Nope, you're not coming in because then they're behind. You can't jump in. It's not like the ones that we have for our members with the co-founders chat and all that stuff. So for 30 minutes, they all worked on reaching out. Some of them did LinkedIn. Some of them did phone calls. Some of them did emails. Some of them submitted ideas through portals. However they did it, it was one step closer. It was one step and getting them over the fear.
Dana, how important was it for people just set that time aside?
It's 100% important. You cannot put a price tag on setting time. First of all, they're not only setting time aside, they're with other inventors who are doing the same thing. That's powerful. That's very powerful. In fact, after the 30 minutes, because we had a little timer and it was going down. And after 30 minutes, some of the people couldn't jump back on the Zoom. I mean, they were there, but they were on a phone with somebody. Well, and I just said to everybody, okay, wait. And one of them was in the middle of doing an email. And I said, okay, we're just going to sit, everybody just quietly, let these people finish what they're doing. And then they all came back on it. And then we went around the room again and we all got to say, what did we do? I made 7. The one woman said she's never made a phone call. I think she said she really struggled getting focused and making phone calls. She said, I made 7 phone calls and I talked to 2 or 3 people, she said. The other one sent out 6 emails. And the other one who wasn't feeling really well, she said, I just rewrote my script of what I was going to say. It was so powerful. And they said, well, and then everyone said, when are we doing this again? When are we doing this again? So I see us doing this for our members. We got to fine tune how it's going to work. But I just talked to somebody a little bit ago before we got on a call, and he said, I have my sell sheet. He has an issued utility patent. He said, I have everything. He said, I just don't know how to reach out. I don't know what to do next.
I think it's a combination of just setting some time aside, having someone watching over you to make sure It's like going to the gym and having someone,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like saying, "Hey, I'm watching you." Okay, and you want to do your best because you have someone watching you. So, but then again, seeing others there, that you see yourself a little bit. So I think it was a combination, but I think setting that time
Yep.
aside and not getting distracted was probably a pretty big thing for
Huge.
people.
Huge. They loved it. So
Because it's
I'm
hard. I
really
mean,
excited about it.
okay. All right, you guys. Dana, thank you for doing such a great job out there, pounding down the doors for all of us and learning along the way. Hey, everybody, Stephen Key, Dana Knowles, InventRight TV. If you got any questions about anything, please put them down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you better subscribe down below. It's very important, and I'll tell you the reason why it's so darn important. I want to go out and just find more people that are going through the process and bring them to you guys. It's very important for all of us to keep learning. And the way to do that is say, hey, we've got all these people that want to learn. Look at all our subscribers. That's how I do it. So please subscribe down below if you haven't already. I will see you next time. Dana Knowles, thank you very much. This is Stephen Key, InventRight TV. We'll see you again. Thanks, everybody.